Today is Friday, August 14th. Welcome to this edition of Nevada County Now. Today's episode, we're talking mining jobs, ag auction, elections, and more. Check it out. Hello and welcome to Nevada County Now. I'm your host, Cole Pettit. Last Sunday in Nevada City, there was a clash between two groups of protesters, and unfortunately, there was some violence. By now, I'm sure many of you have seen the images and video from this event, as it's been all over social media. To address these events, the Nevada City Council will hold a special meeting next Friday, August 21st at 5 p.m. Public comment about the protest originally submitted for this past Wednesday's meeting will be addressed at next week's special meeting. More information about how to comment for the upcoming meeting will be posted to the city's website, nevadacityca.gov. And investigations are currently ongoing. We'll update you with more information as it becomes available. We've seen an increase of 41 COVID-19 cases this week, bringing our total to 362 confirmed cases. 53 cases are currently active with 6 current hospitalizations. 14,259 tests have been performed, an increase of 1,076 tests this week. Last week, we told you about a technical glitch in the state system. Earlier this week, I spoke with Interim Public Health Officer Dr. Richard Johnson about the current state of the system. To view this interview, visit us on Facebook or YouTube. And visit mynevadacounty.com/coronavirus for the most up-to-date information available. Last week, we also reported on the reopening of gold mining here in Nevada County. Unfortunately, a bit of our information was incorrect. Ben Mossman, CEO of Rise Gold, reached out to correct the story and graciously agreed to an interview. Let's take a look. Okay, so I'm joined today by Ben Mossman, CEO of the Rise Gold Corporation. Thank you for joining me today, Ben.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So you're joining us today because you reached out after our story last week where we made a little bit of an error. So I'm going to go ahead and read what that quote was. What we said was, the application to reopen the mine states that over 300 jobs will be created, but as most of these jobs are specialized technical jobs, many are likely to be filled from outside the area. Now, that is incorrect. Is that true?
Yeah, that's incorrect. None of the applications say that, and we've never stated that. So the applications that have been put into the county, they require the number of employees and a general breakdown. So 312 employees, broken down generally into different areas to do with mining and processing. And most of that's to analyze the environmental effects. So such as traffic, the employees are creating traffic that's studied in the traffic study, and then the land use study is included in there as well. But in general, we haven't released a lot of details on those 312 jobs, but we will release that mostly out of just public interest over the coming months. But those numbers that have been stated that are, all these workers will come from outside of the county are not correct. They're not from Rise. And the information that is in those studies state that the majority would be local, derived from the existing local population. So.
Okay, so do you have then an idea at this point of what the structure of the workers looks like? Is there?
Yeah, so as far as local jobs, you have 312 employees that work at the mine full time, and those are direct employees. There's also always an indirect, employee jobs that are created from those 300 jobs, which are less definitive. But as far as those 312 employees, you have about 140 that would be trained from scratch by the company to work in mostly the mine, the underground mine, and the process plant. So of those 312, there's 140 that are newly trained So they would have fairly limited criteria. You probably need a high school diploma, good work ethic, and be willing to go through the training to fill those positions. And then you have about 35 tradesmen. So you have heavy duty mechanics, millwrights, electricians, carpenters, which I would expect there's quite a few tradesmen in the local area that would be interested to work at the mine. And then you have a few administration jobs, accounting, things like that. And then the rest of the jobs are experienced. You have some experienced miners and some experienced people working in the processing plant, which you could consider specialized, but that's the minority of the positions. And there are local people that do have that experience as well. So I would expect that some of those would be filled locally, but at least the majority of those would be from the existing local population, and then some, of course, would be hired from outside the county, depending on the labor market at the time.
I know I've seen some pictures, I think, in the union of you down here maybe last year visiting the mine and checking everything out. Is that right?
Yeah, I actually live here in the county, so I've been here for 2 years.
Gotcha.
And the company is a U.S. company. I'm from Canada, but the company is a U.S. company, and so and I've been here myself for 2 years. So.
And what specifically is it that you like about this community that drives your connection here?
I mean, we like it a lot. The trails and kind of the outdoors. The kind of rural atmosphere. So a lot less busy than living in a city. So I think that's the main part of it.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm sure then you're, with that connection and that appreciation, you can understand a lot of people's concerns about some of the environmental impacts of this. Specifically, some of the concerns about like acid mine drainage, or some of the, we still have issues from our mines from earlier that haven't been entirely cleaned up. Still, there's still some mercury and problems in some of the areas. I know all the environmental stuff hasn't come back yet, but can you speak to how you're going about trying to address those concerns and make sure that that's not an issue?
Yeah, so from the very beginning, I mean, we spent a lot of time doing the design work to mitigate environmental impacts. So you kind of have a big advantage here because it is an existing mine. So you have historic information from the mining, which was something like 100 years of mining. So it gives you a big advantage. And then in addition to that, you have a company who had the lease on the mine and had been in various stages of permitting since basically 1990. Which was Emperor Gold and M Gold. And so they actually got a permit in 1995. Use permit was approved through a full environmental impact report for the watering of the mine. So it's an issue that's being studied a lot. And then as far as, say, acid rock drainage, so we've done quite a bit of drilling underneath and through the mineralized zones. That material's tested in a lab. We have a lab make up a tailings product. So they take the gold mineralization, take the gold out, and then you end up with the tailings, and that material is also being tested for acid rock drainage. And the thing with the tailings, because the processing uses flotation, you take all the pyrite and the sulfides out, and that product is sold so as a concentrate. So the pyrite and the sulfide minerals that could cause acid rock drainage, they're leaving the county as a saleable product, and then no mercury or cyanide will be required to recover the gold. So there's no use of mercury or cyanide at all, and the pyrite, which could cause acid rock drainage, is leaving the county. And then in addition to that, I mean, these mines around here aren't known for acid rock drainage. I mean, some of the legacy environmental impacts have much more to do with trace elements that are in the materials. So for example, the Idaho Maryland mine, the historic tailing site where they put the tailings until the 50s. I mean, we own that site. We're cleaning that up. It's not specifically a part of the mining project. It's part of the cleanup through the DTSC, but we are cleaning that site up. So that, we're actually the ones who are going to reclaim that site. We own the land, but of course we didn't put the materials there. It was put there in 1950s, and that site has been unusable for the last 70 years. So,
Gotcha.
So, yeah, some of the comparisons people might make to, say, hydraulic mining, which of course everybody knows about in Nevada County. I mean, they're really not that logical. Hydraulic mining was banned, of course, in the 1800s. So it's no surprise or nothing new that hydraulic mining would be a big impact. This is completely different. It's an underground mine using the best design features available, the best available practices. So there's going to be a very, very limited impact, and we put that information out on our news releases, and now the county is doing their environmental impact report, which is in progress and will be out in the fall. But that'll be the final judgment really on what the actual impacts are. And so in our view, there's very, very few impacts, and any impacts that there do occur can be mitigated. And so really it's a lot of positive benefits for very little downside.
Okay, well, perfect. Thank you for taking the time to join me today, and thanks for reaching out and setting the record straight.
Great, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Ben, and our apologies for the mistake. It's never our intent to spread misinformation, and we will continue to strive to provide the most accurate information possible. This is only a portion of the full interview. To view the whole thing, visit us on Facebook or YouTube. The 2020 online Junior Livestock and Ag Mechanics auction began yesterday, continues through today, and ends on Saturday. You can bid on a variety of animals from steer to goats to rabbits, as well as some ag mechanics projects like tables, cabinets, or lamps. To register for the auction, visit nevadacountyfair.com/fair/auctions. There you will find detailed instructions to get started. And if you run into any problems, there's a team standing by to answer all your questions. Simply give them a call at 530-273-6217. And if you're not interested in buying anything but would still like to show your support, you can donate to the community pool, which will be used to broadly support the sale and junior exhibitors. And thanks to all the business sponsors who stepped up to help out in this challenging time. Truly shows your continued commitment to supporting our community. A reminder, the County of Nevada Office of Emergency Services will be holding 2 more free green waste disposal days. They will be on Monday, August 17th and 24th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the McCourtney Road Transfer Station. They will accept biomass consisting of tree and plant trimmings, dead plants, weeds, leaves, and branches. Items not allowed are tree stumps or root balls, and items with a diameter greater than 6 inches. The 2020 census is still ongoing, and there's still time to complete yours. Field data collection will end by September 30th, 2020, and self-response options will also close on that date to permit the commencement of data processing. Nevada County at 58.3% is still lagging behind the state self-reporting average, which currently sits at 65%. Many of those who have yet to report appear to be in unincorporated areas of the county. Remember, this data will be used to determine how federal funds are distributed and will affect a wide variety of public programs such as schools, health services, childcare, and emergency services. Visit census.ca.gov to make sure you are counted. Election season is right around the corner. With so many races happening, it can be difficult to follow them all. To help out, we will be filling you in on many of the local races and candidates involved. The first one we'll look at is the 2 spots for the NID board. For more on this race, let's hear from Sonora Slater.
Thanks, Cole. The Nevada Irrigation District, or NID, provides water to residents of a 287,000-acre stretch of California for irrigation, municipal, domestic, and industrial purposes. According to their official website, they own and operate an extensive canal and reservoir system and a network of water treatment plants, as well as producing hydroelectric energy. Their 5-member board of directors is the district's policy-making body, with each of 5 geographic divisions being represented by 1 member. This year, 4 candidates are running to fill 2 open spots, as both the Division 3 and Division 5 seats are up for election. You can see a complete list of the wide variety of resolutions made by the board from 2015 through the present at nidwater.com/board-resolution-archive. Some of the issues this year's NID candidates have mentioned wanting to address are the need to replace or repair old infrastructure and potential financial overhaul in order to emphasize fiscal management. The response to these issues and others will be decided in part by whoever gets elected, alongside the board members from Districts 1, 2, and 4 that are only halfway through their staggered 4-year terms. The candidates for Division 3 include Scott Miller and Karen Hull. Scott Miller is the incumbent member for the division, having served on the NID board since 2000. He graduated from the University of California at Santa Barbara and is a family physician with a practice near Lake of the Pines, as well as being active in school and youth programs. Karen Hull, challenging him, worked at various points in time as the Associate Vice Chancellor of Human Resources and the Associate Vice Chancellor of Business Services at the University of California at Davis, and now owns and operates a small commercial farm. Her campaign is focused on ensuring a strong fiscal management, investing in NID's aging infrastructure, and restoring public trust. The candidates for Division 5 include Rich Johansson and John Norton, neither of whom are incumbent. Rich Johansson is a 4th-generation farmer. He served in the Peace Corps in Venezuela for 2 years after being trained in subtropical farming and cultural practices, and he has a degree in agricultural economics and business management from UC Davis. He is engaged in several local nonprofits and charitable organizations, and has held multiple positions in local government, including as part of the Nevada County Planning Commission, the Nevada County Land Trust, and the Nevada County Agricultural Advisory Committee. John Norton similarly has a significant amount of experience, including 28 years with the California State Water Board, volunteer work with the Nevada County Sanitation District Advisory Committee, the Sierra Streams Institute Board, and the Lake Wildwood Lake Committee, as well as having served as an interim director for NID. He developed California's first Clean Beach Initiative, founded the Citizen Water Quality Monitoring Program for California, and secured $150 million in grant funds to help local agencies clean up their beaches. He plans to focus on restoring public trust through transparency and community involvement, protect and restore watersheds, and prioritize renovation of NID infrastructure. You can contact the general manager or any of the current board members directly if you have a question or concern, using the contact information listed on nidwater.com. Back to you, Cole.
Thanks, Sonora. We're also starting a project to allow you to ask questions of the candidates, and have already heard from Doug LaMalfa, Audrey Denny, and Elizabeth Battencourt, who have agreed to participate. We're looking for people to submit questions via video to be posed to these candidates. If you're interested in participating in this project, reach out to us by calling 530-272-8862 or send us a message through our website by going to nevadacountymedia.org/contact. We'll leave you tonight with a look at the Perseid meteor shower, which has been going on this week. While the peak may be over, you can still catch the occasional shooting star if you're up late enough. But for those of us who go to bed early, we can enjoy these images. Remember, stay safe, take care of each other. We'll see you next week.